Hey there, fellow internet wanderers. Welcome back to the KB Corner. This is your host KB with yet another video. Today we're diving into a topic that's like a hot cup of coffee, bold, a little bitter, and likely to keep you up at night. We're talking about cancel culture and modern liberalism. We will also discuss how it's impacting our society. But don't worry, I promise this won't be a lecture. More like a friendly chat over a cup of coffee. So, let's start with modern liberalism. It's, simply put, this idea that everyone gets to have their own opinion and expecting the world to validate is for them as well. Which, if I put it like that, sounds terrible, right? A world where my opinion is that pizza should be made of vegetable and chocolate and expecting that everyone should like it sounds absurd. But when it's accepted that everyone's truth is different, things start to get a bit messy, to say the least. It's like trying to organize a group project with 10 different leaders, each with their own vision. Spoiler, it's chaos. And speaking of chaos, let's talk about where this all really kicks off: universities. Now, modern universities and schools are kind of like the epicenters of this new age liberalism. They're all about promoting individual truths, which is cool, but it also means we've got a generation of students who are more sensitive than my local cafe's Wi-Fi signal. I mean, let's be real. How many of us were truly prepared for the real world when we graduated? But now we've got a whole generation that's unprepared and super sensitive. Jordan Peterson, yes, the guy who sounds like he's always giving a TED Talk, has been waving the red flag about this. He's been pretty vocal about how Western universities, especially in the humanities, are cranking out a generation that's, well, a little too soft for their own good. Peterson's not alone here. There's this trend where everyone's so caught up in their own truth that the idea of being challenged or uncomfortable has become taboo, which has led to the current cancel culture, a cultural phenomenon. Here's how it works. Someone, be it a celebrity, a politician, or even just a regular person, says or does something that's deemed offensive, usually by a group of young people, is then boycotted, shunned, fired, or, in some cases, assaulted. Now, I am not saying that some of the people that got canceled did not deserve it, but sometimes one has to think, has it gotten a bit out hand lately? And let's talk about gender fluidity for a second. Now, I'm all for people being who they are. Live your life, do your thing. But when we have more pronoun options than coffee flavor choices at Starbucks, you know we've reached a whole new level of complexity. Yeonmi Park, a North Korean defector, actually has some pretty wild insights on this in her book. She talks about how in North Korea, the regime removed words like love and affection and replaced them with devotion and patriotism. Why? To make sure people valued their leader more than their families. Words have power, folks. So if offense is the main conversational buzzwords today, that's going to shape how we think. It's like trying to bake a cake with salt instead of sugar. It's not going to be sweet. Now here's the kicker. These liberals, while claiming to be all about tolerance, are actually starting to eat away at our ability to tolerate diversity. It's like an irony pie, and trust me, no one wants a slice of that. We're building a society where everyone's supposed to be accepted, but in reality, we're just making it harder for anyone to be different. And if we keep going down this path, we might end up with a generation that's not just soft, but completely unprepared for the hard knocks life is more than willing to dish out. So, what's the takeaway here? Modern liberalism isn't all bad. It's given us some incredible advancements in human rights and equality. But like all things in life, too much of anything can tip the scales in the wrong direction. We need to find a balance where we can respect individual truths without losing sight of the fact that the world is a tough place. And being tough doesn't mean being mean. It means being ready. Ready to face challenges, ready to hear opposing views, and ready to grow. As they say, it's better to be a warrior in a garden than a gardener in a war. Well, folks, that's all for today. Thanks for hanging out with me and for diving into this conversation. Whether you agree, disagree, or just came for the coffee vibes, I appreciate you sticking around. If you've got thoughts, drop them in the comments. Let's keep this chat going. And hey, if you're new here, don't forget to hit that subscribe button so you don't miss out on our next deep dive into the weird and wonderful world we live in. Until next time, stay curious, stay strong, and maybe reconsider that third cup of coffee. See ya.